What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode with your boy Phrankleen. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. If you like what I'm about, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and when you hit that subscribe button, don't forget to hit that little bell button on the side and select the all option. Basically what that does is it allows you to be updated when I'm on my live stream or when I upload any of my pre-recorded content, okay? And don't forget to share my videos on your Facebook platforms and Twitter and all the rest of them, okay? Right, this episode is sponsored by Sendwave. Sendwave is basically an app that you can download within the 2 shakes of a duck still on your mobile devices, be it Android, be it iPhone, and it allows you to send money from Ireland, Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, and United States of America to Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Uganda. Okay, now Sendwave has got a promotion going. If this is your first time downloading or using Sendwave, if you use a promo code Phrankleen, as my name is spelt on the screen on the channel, you'll get £5, $5, and or €5 added to your very first transaction. Okay, download Sendwave, and the beautiful thing is you can share that promo code with your friends and families. Now, to crack on with it. Now, this segment is the Storytime segment, whereby you send me, your stories. You send me your emails to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Look in the description below. You see my contact details should you want to contact me. So these came from a gentleman, one of my subscribers that watches my content, and he shared this story with me, and I said to him that I was going to make a video to discuss with the audience, and people can get involved in the comment section and we can share our views and stuff. But the premise of this is I'm going to take you through a compressed version of the story. It's a very lengthy email, and I then will share my own views, okay, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so basically this brother, he is Nigerian, and back in Nigeria, some years back, he met this lady who would claim to be his high school, sweetheart and stuff. He said they've known each other right at the end of their teenage years, right? And it's like boyfriend, girlfriend type thing, the classic stuff. And then he had to go to a high institution known as university, and then he went to university. So, and then she had a couple of years behind him and stuff, and she later going to university as well. And in going to university on different sides of the country kind of made them go that way. So as time went by, the brother struggled to get employment. Then he started doing some type of what you call side hustle, whereby he could help people sell a parcel of land. He'll get commission. He could help, he knew a couple of people in the diaspora, and he would help people sell cars or offload a container that come from abroad. He would get his commission from. So he wasn't doing too bad. And he said then they both decided to get married and stuff like that. But prior to that, whilst they were dating, there's been a bit of ups and downs, particularly from his side of the family. And who is that? His mom has a nature of meddling, and he came from a family of 4 boys, 1 sister, right? So I think he is the 3rd born, if I'm correct, and then he has a sister who is the last born. So there's about 4 other siblings, a total of 5 of them. But the mom was the one who basically he calls, according to him, not me, a control freak. It's the same thing with his brothers, who would control the narratives and always fault finding. Like, say for example, if the girl came around to the house, hi mommy, or maybe she was in the kitchen, the traditional African stuff. If your mom's in the kitchen and stuff, your girlfriend or your woman is expected to immediately advance to where she is and support or take over the cooking. If there are 10 people in the house, she's expected to cook for them and clean for them, and if she doesn't, it's in fact seen as being disrespectful, right? So that's a common, really common, that I have an objection to, and I'll tell you why. So long and short was, as they carried on, at first he said in the background the mom had been complaining about, oh, she doesn't really dig the girl, and he asked her a question and said, tell me specifically what's wrong with her, a concrete type of observation that I can work with, that can help me make an informed decision. Like, I don't see anything wrong. She has her imperfections, I've got mine, I'm in love with her. But if you're just going to be petty and nitpicking and all that stuff, it's not going to work. So he had a lot of back and forth with his mom. But anyway, they picked a wedding date and they got married. This was still back in Nigeria, and then as soon as she got married, they had a child together and stuff. Long and short was, as life went on, they got married. A couple of years into the marriage, the couple then decided to go in search of greener pastures, and they decided to travel out. And then they tried their hands on the Canadian PR, permanent residence program, and they were successful, and which opened the avenue for them to migrate to Canada, right? So the brother, the wife, and the little boy at the time, they moved to Canada. Then it got to a time when the mom now said she wanted to come to Canada and stuff, and all that stuff. As life abroad is, as you probably would appreciate, everyone is on their grind. You go out, you have to work long hours and all that stuff. And then they had a childminder, someone who they had an arrangement with. At this point, they had a second child, so they've got two kids, who was helping with looking after their kids. And both the couple would go in separate directions to go look for their daily bread, as you do. Come back home very late, long hours and all that stuff. And then the woman started nitpicking the mother-in-law. And then he said over time, before his mom came, they had made an effort, a joint effort to make the house look good. Worked hard pretty much, to buy things, and they have nice cars and all that stuff. Anyway, improve their lives. So she came, and then whilst the dude was away from home, the mother then started this funny conversation with the wife about, oh, I've noticed you've now grown wings. Oh, so your plan was to bring my son to Canada, which is just ridiculous stuff, right? Trying to separate him from me. And then the lady was just like, Mom, I'm oblivious of what you're talking about, okay? And respectfully, now, if there's anything I've done to offend you, I do apologize, but I doubt very much, okay? I'm happy to have you around. I'm doing my best to make sure your welfare as well looked after, it's up to par and stuff. But you seem to, anyway, long story short, dude came and the wife told him that this is your mom's hounding me and on my back about XYZ and all that stuff. So he said the mom, he got on the phone to some, like most families abroad, you'd have some older, extended family members, uncles, aunties and all that stuff. And he claimed to be a no-nonsense guy, but he told some of his uncles to warn his mom and all that. He said as the weeks, he said the plan was he would stay with them for a month. Then she dropped the bombshell to say, oh, she wants to stay in Canada for 3 months. So the dude that emailed me, the gentleman, said he told mom that no, you can't stay with me for 3 months. First of all, we didn't have that agreement. We had no plans. You didn't notify me. And you just can't tell me you want to stay for 3 months. If there's an extenuating circumstance, like you got medical problems, or there's like a cogent reason for you to remain, that's to, you just can't come and impose yourself. This is my marriage. This is my home. It's for me and my wife and the kids. You just can't bulldoze your way through. So you can imagine back and forth, mother and child, yeah? Then he said the mother alluded to the fact that, oh, she's taking over your life, and all this is just nonsense. It's very common in Africa, particularly Nigeria, where I am from. So the mother started basically everything he was saying to her. She would point finger at the wife that she's poisoning even though she was evidently had nothing to do with him being able to speak up as a man and challenge his mother's pettiness and misbehaviors. So long and short was some family members got involved and tried to speak to her that, look man, don't come here and inflict your son's marriage with unnecessary toxicity and all that stuff. It does no one any favors. You're just going to leave cracks in his marriage, and they wouldn't want to have you back next time. But being a very stubborn person and thinking she can impose and barge her way through, the whole thing is like the whole thing got injected with an excessive amount of steroid, and the whole situation worsened. And she was hounding the woman, and she said there was a night where he came in. The dude said there was a night he came in from work, and he met his mother and his missus right in the heat of the moment where they didn't know he had stepped in, that the mother was, shouting all sorts of disgusting stuff that he's not willing to repeat to me via email. And then whilst he was walking across the hallway to, step into the kitchen, because it's an open plan, very big house, according to him, excuse me, he said the mother he cut his mom through, the top part of a blender, right? And which he said the blender was actually made of glass, flung it at his wife, and said, "Omo alinye." Now, in English, for those of you that don't understand the Yoruba language, that's a BASTARD. I don't want to say that on here because of the algorithm, and da 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 and da 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 da, and the wife was screaming and stuff. So, on that note, that night, he threw his mother out, packed the belongings, he threw her out. Said that in the province that they live in Canada, there's some other extended families that live like about 10 miles away or 15 miles away from them. And, he had called them, he flung his mom out with her belongings. He begged his wife not to call the police, right? And she didn't. But he flung her out and banned her from ever coming back. Now, you get the gist, okay? So, he never allowed her back in. He became really chaotic and stuff. He protected his wife. He protected his home. And the mother was saying, she threw the blender out of anger because the wife was mouthing off and all that stuff. Long and short was, this has been 3 years now since that incident happened. And this guy is completely cut off his mom. Now, some of his siblings and some other family members are basically trying to blame him now, saying he's, his behavior is over the top and stuff. Regardless, he can't pick his wife over his mother. And his response to that is, y'all can kiss my, you get the point. You can kiss my. So, and he said to me that he's had huge amount of peace and tranquility in his marriage, in his, that on the other hand, the wife's parents, his own in-laws, never give him a headache. They know their boundaries. He said even the father-in-law wife's father has been to Canada twice, vacation, stayed with them for a few days, went to other part of Canada, no hassle, no headaches, even brought gifts for his grandchildren, had a good time, left. But now they're putting pressure on him, and he's basically saying he's never going to apologize to his mother or fix, the palaver and anything like that. This is my own view, and I'll close with this. For those of you that have been watching me longer than now, you would know my stance on things like this. First of all, protect your home, okay? I always say to people, just compartmentalize your love and affection for everybody. But when you have mothers, unfortunately, it's the very nasty behavior that some people have adopted to be culture. I don't see that as culture in Africa. I see it as a very toxic behavior. So many marriages, so many relationships, unfortunately, have hit the rocks, have been absolutely shattered to smithereens because of meddling in-laws, mother-in-laws particularly. Will get between the relationship of their son or daughter or whatever, and they will make sure they leave a major crack, and they will destroy it because of sentiments and intrusions and having a blatant disregard for boundaries or whatnot. Now, as a man, I don't joke with my boundaries. I'm talking for me now. I don't. I don't live my life to please anyone. I don't live my life to please my parents. I'm not going to subject my woman or my marriage or my relationship to reduce it to the level of a doormat because I'm trying to put a smile on my mother's face or my father's face. I don't do any of that crap. This is my home. If you make a mockery of your woman, if you make a mockery of your man, you allow your family to trample on them. It's blatant disrespect to that partner. It's unfair. If you have a mother who is meddling, it's not your mother's home. It's not your mother's marriage. Go to your husband's house and go and control that space. You cannot come into my home, my marriage, and leave a crack and sabotage it. I hear some men, I see comments online, you hear some guys, they'll say stuff like, oh, a mother is not replaceable, you can replace a wife. This is my response to you. Of course, any relationship can hit the rocks, but this is my response to you. Why choose to marry that woman, or why choose to be in a relationship with that woman or that man if you had it in the back of your mind that you will possibly replace the person? You know, it's just basically I'm advocating for a life free of pointless complexity, and to have that kind of mindset that your mother must take dominion. No. So my message to this gentleman is, don't be a conformist. Don't cave into pressure, okay? Protect your home. I'm not advocating for anybody to abandon their mothers or abandon their fathers and stuff. Set boundaries. It's crucial. It's not debatable. It's not subjected to any form of negotiations, okay? Protect your home, because after all is said and done, your mother will go to the grave, your father might die, which not even might, they will die at some point when you're old and grey, okay? If you have a healthy enough relationship, you're more than likely going to remain with that woman, okay? When your children fly out the nest, that woman will stand by you, as long as you're good to her, and she's also good, of course, vice versa, right? So, yeah. If a mother comes and brings toxicity, a father comes and brings toxicity, let them go, man. Let them go, okay? Don't back down, brother. Protect your home. Protect your home. Protect your home. It's your boy, Phrankleen. Okay? Thank you for watching. What do you think? Let's keep the conversation going on below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to download Sendwave. Use my promo code Phrankleen, that's spelled on the screen, to get your £5, $5, and or €5. And yeah, I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Peace and love. Kapow.